whoever's sitting at the bar,
And at the
when
window.
someone rings the bell, that's who you have to buy around for. Yeah, it's a good way to go. But it is lovely. It's got a nice ring to it. Yeah, and then
And then you get your photo on the wall.
and then you get your photo up on the wall. Hey guys, I'm Connor. Welcome to Otis, our little bar. Dan and I both came from originally local bars, you know, your local neighbourhood watering hole. And when this opportunity came up, we thought a great way to return to our roots in that regard. At its core, what we want to be is, you know, a place where everybody in the area comes down, you can have a drink, you'll meet new people in the area. There'll be some functions, there's like events and stuff like that, but it's a melting pot. Everyone comes in and hangs out and that sort of thing, you know? It's the sort of place you sit at the bar, you know, have a chat with a random person right next to you. It's very cheesy in that sort of regard, to be honest. But
Hi, I'm Kelsey. I am the bar manager here. Connor and Dan brought me on when they bought the business. Connor and I worked together at the Baxter Inn, but we actually met at the Little Guy where Dan used to work, where I met Dan when he was my bartender at my local watering hole. Met him on the fun side of the bar and got to know each other through a couple of years of me and my partner drinking at his bar.
So we actually inherited this off the Golden Gully, but we thought it was a nice little picture, so we figured we'd just keep it there. We have added a lot more, I suppose, greenery and brightness to the venue. I find the plants are just a nice inviting element. But I mean, you know, it is nice to sort of just have a little reminder there of where we are. You know, in the same way that we've got the acknowledgement to country up there and that sort of thing. It's just, you know, I guess makes people feel like they're welcome in every regard. Doesn't matter who you are. We want to be able to sort of, in some respects, educate or just, you know, bring some new drinks that we can change out a little bit more often, so locals can try something that they might not have come across before. So we're trying to change these guys up every month and just pick some new wines that we find are quite interesting that tend to come from a different winemaking style. This one here, we'll change it up if we've got like functions or like a special event on or something. We'll put a little menu on there for whatever the guest wants to have on the day. And then this one here is rotating around as well. They're just classics and we just do them really well, and it's a nice way to sort of expose them to them. I think the color palette, the sort of orange and green that we've kind of gone with as far as the bright orange plus the plants and that sort of thing, and a fair few like green trinkets. We wanted to make it sort of pop a little bit more, you know, we wanted it to just be like, you see this bright orange, and you're like, wow, what's going on over there? And come in and have a look. And it keeps the energy up. Well, it was a sort of greeny turquoise.
Yeah, and it felt quite dark at the end.
Yeah, it was, yeah, the green was still kind of dark and kind of smothering. You kind of, it didn't, smothering, but yeah, it didn't feel warm and inviting. And I think going for the warmer color, there's just something a little bit more relaxing about that, or a little bit more homely, I guess. Yeah, like the green, lovely if I was on a rooftop, but I don't think it would have fit the vibe as well, you know. So the biggest challenge for that first 4 months between August and December when we changed the name, there's so much work to do in just running a venue, obviously. And then we're in here trying to change the branding and create new menus, create new products.
Create a new bar.
Install a new bar, which took 3 days and it should have taken 5. But it works, it's awesome. I wouldn't necessarily recommend it if you can avoid it. We sort of looked at it from a cash flow point of view. This is our first business. And you know, we essentially went, it's gonna cost us a little bit more money, or we can just work and we'll generate a little bit more cash flow and we'll have that there, and we'll just be exhausted on the other side of it. There were a couple of times where a mistake would be made and then you just have to work with that for a week. So whereas like if you were shut for 2 weeks, you could like make the mistake and then you fix it straight away. So we had the first coat of lacquer that went on this was dry by Thursday, but it wasn't dry enough. It hadn't fully cured. And so I think someone danced on the bar top on the Thursday night or the Friday. And so there were these like
twisty footprints.
Yeah, the paint had sort of twisted around and in all the way along. So the next Monday, it was come back in and resand the whole thing and repaint the whole thing. Fun experience, I'm glad we did it. But
I think the positive of it was that we got to sort of introduce ourselves to the locals that had already been coming into Gully, and they sort of got to experience the change and the rebrand with us. Like they'd come in and sort of be like, oh, that's a different color, or like, oh, this is a new drink, or oh, new plant, and it's sort of they got to be a part of the process.
Yeah,
and now the regulars that come here all the time, they do really feel sort of like they've been a part of the transition and they're part of what we've created now, which is nice.
It's sort of their place as well now,
Yeah.
which is really cool. So the bell is this one.
This is going to be what, the 8th version of it?
Of what?
Of the bell,
In
the
what way?
handle of the.
Well, yeah, the handle
It's had
keeps,
an evolution.
the handle keeps falling off. I think it kind of came from the little guy
Yeah.
original, like I guess.
I think it's actually got a like maritime navy history to the ringing of the bell.
Is there? I'm not sure. That'll
Yeah,
be
I thought that was the thing. My dad said when he came in, he's like, oh, like on the ships. Apparently in the messes, there's a bell, and if you ring the bell, you buy the people in the mess around.
it. I have seen it a bit in movies and stuff for military bars. If someone's out celebrating or whatever, they want to, they can basically shout around for the bar. And we have a house, like a amuse-bouche, essentially. So it's sort of Amaro, bit of bitters and some vermouth. And so we just pour out a round of shots of that. And then, they shout the bar, basically. So it's whoever is sitting at the bar,
And at
when
the
someone rings the bell, that's who you have to buy a round for. Yeah, it's a good way to go. But it is lovely. It's got a nice ring to it. Yeah. And then
and then you get your photo on the wall.
and then you get your photo up on the wall. So there's a lot of, there's quite a few people that are up there multiple times as well. Yeah. And my favorite's probably Sammy. So she's in here a couple of nights a week, but she'll only ring the bell when there's like 2 or 3 people sitting on the bar.
way to do it.
Absolute genius move. Yeah. So she's up there about 5 times, I think, or something like that. But
So it counts, though.
yeah, it counts. We're not. Yeah, absolutely. You don't need to buy 10 shots. It's rules is rules, you know.
Pretty sure Lil's up there and she only bought a shot for herself.
I guess keeping to the sort of homely nature of the venue, we've got our one level bar here, so it kind of feels a bit more like we're hanging out at a kitchen bench and that sort of thing. It was not necessarily the plan, but because we bought an established venue and they had certain infrastructure already set up, we inherited quite a raised floor on this side, and the old bar was quite a bit lower. It was about 200 mil further down than here. So you spend 2 days behind here and your back is killing you.
Yeah.
So we had to get this up, but you don't want to be sitting at the bar like this, obviously. So we decided, I think we can make a nice one level bar, so everyone can see exactly what's going on, but we can, you're not sort of hiding anything either. Everyone just is there and you're part of it. And it's worked incredibly well. It's quite a nice, simple setup, but it flows well. And yeah, drinks and service has been absolutely brilliant with it now that we've got that installed. But yeah.
I've worked in some horribly designed bars and this one feels like a dream to work on.
And then we've got upstairs as well, which has been, that's been getting really popular as well because it's big and couchy. So it used to be the restaurant, right? So it was the sit-down table service, and it worked really well for them in that regard. But again, we're not doing the kitchen, so we wanted to make it a big friendly lounge. Do you want to go up?
Yeah, well.
Let's go. Upstairs, it was, just the basic table, table service experience. But one of the most popular things that this room's used for is birthday parties and stuff like that. So we wanted something that was a little bit more flexible, a little bit more inviting, I suppose. Again, inviting and all that jazz. So we installed this here. It's made out of the same stuff as that, the bar top itself, just a different stain on there. Then big comfortable couches. People can come and relax here, and these are quite popular. As well as that, the balcony wasn't really getting used, so we wanted to make that a feature as well. So, everybody likes sitting on a rooftop or anywhere that you can sort of people watch, and this is just, another lovely spot for
the balcony and the
that
window.
sort of thing.
Other than the bar, the balcony and the window are the most popular spots to be.
Yeah,
for people
for sure.
watching.
Yeah, true.
Sunshine and people watching.
Yeah, and again, more plants, which we've not killed, which is amazing. Somehow we haven't. They're real.
It's part of the prep procedure. If you're on a prep shift, you are also doing plants.
Yeah, true. Yeah, so Lucy down the back has probably saved these plants.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's also, like, when we do have birthdays up here, everyone likes to have a bit of a dance as well, so we can actually create some space for that. Mm-hmm. We've got a disco ball, which obviously you need a disco ball when you can. So
Always.
Disco ball, disco lights when it's a real fun Friday, Saturday night and that sort of thing. Oh, these ones? I don't know about dancing on these tables.
This one can now because somebody was dancing on it and it broke a couple weeks back. And now Andy's reinforced it and now you definitely can dance on it.
Okay. I didn't know about that.
So this one, definitely dance safe now.
Right. I've definitely danced on the couches, but yeah, and the bar downstairs.
There are some great photos from the lawn party of people dancing on the couches.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to reinforce these tables, aren't I?
Yep.
All right. That's one for the list.